right. The 3-1 Kansas City Chiefs are traveling up to the Minnesota Vikings, and they're going to be taking them on Sunday. Listen, I got the Chiefs winning Puma in an easy win, man. This is I think this is going to be a blowout. I think this is going to be one of those games where this defense is going to get absolutely annihilated. Like, I don't know how many more years we can come in here, like year in and year out, and say they got to fix the defense. Like Brian Flores or the defense coordinator got to do something. Like at this point, like I've lost all faith in the Vikings defense. I even called up my buddy Aaron, the Vikings fan. I was like, hey man, I'm doing the podcast tonight. Like, talk me through a scenario where you can see the Vikings pulling out this upset, right? And he was talking about how, Chiefs haven't looked the best so far this year. They definitely look vulnerable. Their offense seems to be struggling to find a rhythm. I think you're really starting to see the effects of not having a Tyreek Hill now, 2 years after he's been gone. And he's giving me all these great points, but I'm sorry, I just don't see a way where Patrick Mahomes is going to go throw up like 28 points or 31 points on that Brian Flores defense, and it's not going to be close, bro. In my opinion.
I mean, they let the Jets hang around. I mean, the spread is
but that's
bro. I watched that whole game because I was a full blown degenerate that night. With all the talk of I'm not going to watch this game, I'll watch 90 Day Fiance with the wife. Psych, we watched the football game. I mean, that defense for the Chiefs, they made like Zach Wilson look good. Like Zach Wilson had like good foot movement. He was moving the pocket. He was getting everybody involved. He was making the right reads. And I mean, you have like a functional like quarterback in Kirk Cousins, even surviving behind that offensive line for the Vikings has been absolutely devastated by injuries this year to start the season. But they have they have Justin Jefferson still. So he's going to be able to put stress on that defense, and you might see opportunities for Osborne and company to break out and get the chunk plays down the field. Do I think the Chiefs are going to win? Absolutely. Do I think they're going to cover the 5.5? Absolutely not.
Of course not. They never cover, right?
We saw that last week against the Jets. Like they had a chance to punch in that touchdown, and even with a minute left in the game. Real football wise, like Mahomes made the right move, but from a betting perspective, like a lot of sports books were happy that he did not punch in that touchdown, because if that happened, like they were going to be massively exposed to a loss for all those money line, the point spreads on the Chiefs. But back to reality football here. Maybe it's because Eric Bieniemy isn't there anymore. Maybe it's because Matt Nagy is calling the plays. And to your point, like, maybe we are starting to see the Tyreek Hill effect because, I get it. This all like Taylor Swift work with Travis Kelce, but like he was really like neutralized in that game against the Jets. Like he only ended the day with, I think it was like 5 catches for 37 yards. He was really he wasn't a threat really at all in that game. And, we wanted to, make fun of the Vikings defense. And yeah, from times they have been brutal, but compared to last year, like, Brian Flores can't coach defense, and he had them hanging tough from time to time against the Eagles. They just got exposed in the ground game. So, like, if the Chiefs are going to win this game, like real life football, like they're probably just going to run the football down their throat and maybe take the ball a little bit out of Mahomes' hands, because he did not look good against the Jets last week. So I think the Vikings have a puncher's chance. I'm going to go with the Chiefs to win. But like from a betting perspective, like I've been kicking the tires on this game a lot today. Like, if I'm betting this game, I might take the Vikings at 5.5. It's still floating around in some books. I might do that when we log off the pod, but that's where I'm at in life.
Wow. I think an underrated story here that nobody wants to talk about is I do believe Patrick Mahomes is missing Eric Bieniemy. Like nobody wants to talk about this story nationally, but I think the Eric Bieniemy going to Washington to be their OC and leaving, Patrick Mahomes and Matt Nagy is a storyline that's not being talked about enough, because that's the only logical way I can think of why this offense is not clicking the way it did last year, right? Because last year they didn't have Tyreek either, and they still put up points, and they still looked basically unstoppable for most of the year. I truly believe this offense is missing Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 interceptions that he had, and honestly, like Jay, Mahomes should have had a minimum of 3. You could make an argument for 4 picks that night. I mean, he was underthrowing the football. I don't know what he was looking at. Like after the first one, with how bad that pass was, like I put it out there on Twitter. I'm like, is this like Park Ave calling down the Chiefs sideline saying, "Hey, keep it close"? Like because there was I don't know what he was looking at, but like the pick was brutal, and then the second one was just massively underthrown. So I think they can be had.
I don't know if it was you or if it was somebody else that tweeted, but they were like, "Is Patrick Mahomes drunk out there?"
That was not me, but I would have put that out there for sure. And let's not forget, like the Chiefs are always due for the obscure October loss. Like they avoided that bullet last week. That golden BB almost happened. Like, what if Kirby Cousins can somehow eke out a win?
Somehow, huh? Yeah, I just don't see it happening. But if the Vikings do beat them, I mean, this would set them up really nicely for what's happening down the road for those guys, right? Because the schedule for those guys, they've got the Chiefs, they got the Bears, they've got the 49ers, they got the Packers, the Falcons, the Saints. Like, yeah, you got the 49ers on the schedule, but a lot of that is like the Saints and Falcons and all this stuff that they can beat. So if they want to get their season turned around, they're gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.